crickets flew inside of the gourd, and Anansi put the lid on top. Then he said, "Naomi, I have your first present." "You have, Mboro?" "Yes, they're here inside the gourd." "This is good." The next day, Anansi found a very long piece of bamboo, and he cut one end and the other. Then he pulled it, and he pulled it. Can you pull with me? Pull the bamboo, and pull the bamboo. He pulled it over. Yes, he did. He pulled it over to Onini's house. He put it right by Onini's house, and here's what he said. "Silly creature, silly creature, silly creature." And this woke Onini up.
"Why do you wake me? I was sleeping and dreaming."
"My wife and I had an argument. My wife, she said that you were shorter and weaker than this bamboo. I stood up for you. I said that you were longer and stronger. But now she won't let me go home because we had an argument."
"If I help you, will you let me sleep?"
And then, guess what? Onini came out of his hole, and he laid down by the bamboo. And as he lay by the bamboo, he was able to be measured. So Onini was laying down by the bamboo, and Anansi said, "Please stop wiggling. I can't measure you very well if you wiggle." "I know. Let me tie you to the bamboo, and then I can measure real good." So Onini helped. He laid as straight as he could, and Anansi wrapped some vine around him all the way to his tail. And now Onini was trapped. And Anansi said, "You're not very smart, and you're not very big, and now you're mine." He went to Naomi, and Naomi said, "This is good. You have brought me 2 of the gifts." Anansi spent all day digging in the ground, digging a big hole, big enough for a leopard to fall inside. Then by nightfall, he covered it with leaves and branches. You couldn't even see it was a trap. And Anansi waited. He waited until Osebo, the leopard, was hunting for food. When Osebo was hunting, he fell into the hole, and he couldn't get out. He was an angry and hungry leopard. And Anansi just waited. Anansi said, "I'd help you out, but you'd eat me and my family, so I won't do it."
"Please help me. I'm hungry and trapped."
"I'll only help you if you promise you won't hurt me."
"I promise."
And then Anansi threw a vine into the hole. "Tie this to your tail. I'll pull you out." And Anansi took the other end of the vine and put it over a tall branch. When the leopard was tied, Anansi started to pull and pull until the leopard was hanging upside down. And then he tied the vine around the tree. "Now you're mine." Naomi was watching, and he saw what had happened. So now all the stories belonged to Anansi, the smart spider. And that's the story of Anansi. Long ago, there was a village with happy children, big trees, and beautiful flowers. All the children were happy in this village, and they would sing all day and all night. But one day, they heard a terrible sound. It sounded like this. Whoosh! Can you make that sound? Whoosh! And they saw a shadow like a big bird cover the village. And from that day, strange things started to happen. Yes, it was a big, beautiful, we think, bird. Some days you could see just a little bit of the wings because they'd shine, but they were clear like a rainbow. It was an enchanted, magical bird. And one day, you'd look up and all the ducks would be gone. But they'd hear whoosh. The next day, you'd look for some chickens and some eggs, but whoosh, all of them were gone. We even looked for broccoli and corn. Whoosh, whoosh, no vegetables could be found. Oh, all the people were worried. The vegetables were gone, the chicken, the ducks, the eggs, even the pigs and the horses were gone. The only thing left was the cow, and we were watching out for him. But soon we heard whoosh, and all the cows were gone. You know what happened then? The chief, he became very worried because all the food was gone. So he called all of the fathers together. He said, we need a plan. We have to find the food. The fathers talked, and they thought about it. And they said, the whoosh sound, it comes from the big yellow wood tree. We should go to the tree and find out who's making that sound. So they woke up very early the next morning, and the fathers marched. They marched to the trees. And when they got to the big yellow wood tree, they could hear a sound, a beautiful song. And the song sounded like, bird of light, rainbow bright, magic is my true delight. Magic is my true delight. And you know what happened? All of the fathers got really sleepy, and they had to take a nap under the tree. They thought they could chop it down, but instead they fell asleep. And while they were sleeping, they started to dream. They dreamed of all the battles that they had fought. They dreamed of the places they had visited. And they dreamed of the loves that they had known. And by the end of the day, the fathers looked around, and the tree was still standing. So they had to go home and say, we couldn't chop down the tree. We don't know what is eating all of our food. They were sad. The next day, the chief gathered all of the young men together, the teenage warriors, and they ran to the tree. And you know, they brought their axes, their knives and machetes, and they chopped at the tree. Can you help me chop at the tree? Chop at the tree, and chop at the tree, and chop at the tree. But guess what happened? That bird started to wake up, and sing the song again. Bird of light, rainbow bright, magic is my true delight. And when those young men, all strong and young, they heard the song,
they got sleepy and they took a nap.
Yeah, they took a nap and they dreamed. They dreamed about all the places they would see. Yeah, and you know what else they dreamed? They dreamed of all the loves that they would know. And they also dreamed about all the battles they would fight. Yeah. Yeah, all day long. It was a lot of dreaming. But still, by the end of the day, the tree was still standing. And the people,
oh, the people were so hungry.
So you know what happened next? The chief called all the children just like you. And the children stood up. They walked around all the way to the big tree. And then the children used little axes and little knives, little machetes, and the children tried to chop the tree. Let's chop the tree. Can we chop the tree? Yeah. The children chopped at the tree. And guess what the bird started to do? Sing? Okay, let's sing for the bird. Ready? Bird of light, rainbow bright, magic is my true delight. But this time, the children just sat there and waited for the bird. When the bird came out, they chopped at the tree some more, and they chopped some more. And soon, that big yellow wood tree fell to the ground. And the bird, what did the bird do when the tree was down? The bird went singing off into the distance, never to visit their village again. What did the bird sing when he was going away? He said, bird of light, rainbow bright, magic is my true delight. And the bird was gone. That night, all the children sat around at the big table. Have a seat at the big table. And at this table, they had a big feast. We had everything to feast on. And that's when the chief said, the fathers failed because they dreamed about the past. The young men, the warriors, yeah, they failed because they could only look to the future. But the children, tonight we celebrate the children because the children remembered the hunger and pain of now. And they were able to stay up all day long to defend our city. And then everybody started to sing one song, one final song for the children. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And we hope that all of you will be